Okay. Hey everyone. My name is Ernesto Zuniga, and this is gonna be the start of something new. We're just gonna quickly get into it, and then I'm gonna kind of explain what it is I'm trying to do here, and hopefully the plans for the future. So if you're listening to this is technically episode 0, I guess. This is just me introducing myself, introducing what this is, and how really it's gonna work. Okay. So first things first, what is this? Who am I? Well, my name's Ernesto, and what this is a podcast based upon many different things. Of course, we're gonna talk about current events whenever I find something interesting, or if someone just brings it up. We can talk about pop culture, things like that, but mainly what this is about is the influences of pop culture and many things like that, and the influence that they've had on people, real people. Me and myself, obviously, I was influenced by many things growing up. Comedic wise, it was Seinfeld and other things like that. And as I got older, I started to learn more and more about stand-up comedy and the real drive and the real drive it takes to become something, through that medium. I love video games. Of course, who doesn't love video games nowadays? But video games were a large part of my life growing up, and if you feel the same, maybe this is the podcast for you. We'll talk about what things led you to your beliefs and things like that. Me, I'm a very open-minded person. I really don't pick one side or the other. I like to listen to both and come up with my own thing. I mean, of course, there are some things that I lean towards, but that's really not what this is about. Anyway, so the main influence, well, not influence, but the main example that I could give of what this podcast is I invite a guest. I talk to them about their experiences, the things that they watched growing up, and how it relates to them now as an adult. It's surprising how much a person's taste can change growing up, and it's also surprising how much it doesn't change. How much something, and I find that interesting, how much you can love something and never dislike it. You see the flaws in it, but if you dislike it, then it's not something you truly cared about. But you can like something, and it can be bad. That's part of the philosophy here. I'm not telling you to tell me what's good. I'm telling you to tell me what you think is good. That seems kind of weird and I guess lazy, since I'm kind of banking off other people, but that's what this is. I'm more about the human interaction. And I know currently right now in the state of the world, it's kind of hard for that. And it really shouldn't be. Yeah, I understand 6 feet apart, masks. Of course, we should all follow these guidelines, and hopefully this will be over quicker. But until then, we cannot lose the connections we have with each other as people. And that being said is kind of what inspired me to do this. You listen to podcasts and other podcasts, and you hear those people talking to each other. You hear them explaining their life and what it is and what they do, but I've always been interested in more than just the career of someone, more than just the influences that brought them to where they are in their job or things like that. I want to know what inspired you to get to the parts that you cared about in your life. Like, was there a comic book or a movie star that you saw, and then did it make you feel a certain way, and then make you go out there and do what you wanted to do? Like many people were influenced by Saving Private Ryan. That's how we got a lot of people to sign up for war. Things like Rambo, Commando, movies like that are things that influenced a whole generation. And I want to know what influences mine. Of course, growing up, you don't really realize something's a classic or it's going to be the greatest thing until later on in your life when people are still bringing it up, you know? And I guess that's kind of what this is too. It's kind of a way for me to archive my thoughts. You know, I forget a lot of things. I have a lot of notes to keep me on track. And I feel like this is a good way to get my thoughts archived, you know, to keep things basically where I can remember them. And that's the best part. I'm not saying that my thoughts are worthy of saving. I would just like to remember them. You know, maybe somewhere down the line, somebody will find these old recordings, listen to them, and maybe they'll find something out of them. Who knows? But if not, then, hey, I had my fun with it, right? What else do we got here? But yeah, I like to know about the lives of people. I don't just like to know the surface area. And of course, I understand not everyone's going to tell me everything. I mean, I'm not wanting you to tell me everything. I just want you to tell me the things that make you, you. That's it. I mean, whatever you want to share with me is up to you. But, I'm here. You know, I'm here for everything. I'm going to be here for all the problems, all the solutions. At least try. And, you know, maybe you should give it a listen. Like right now, it's just me rambling on, explaining what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. And really, it might not go that way. But that's kind of what you do when you make a plan, huh? It's one of those things. It's hopeful. And I'm hopeful of this. I think this will do well. But we'll just have to wait and see. But like most great things, it takes time. And time is something I fortunately have a lot of. So, you know, maybe we can make this work. Of course, it's weird right now just talking into a mic in an empty room, but, you know, we'll get it set up better then. We'll get it set up better. This might not sound too great, and honestly, I probably should have put something on to hear myself, but this is one of the many mistakes that we'll be trying to fix on our way up. We're going to bumble our way to the top, hopefully. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's bumbling. But hopefully this can be somewhere where people listen to relax or just put it on for background noise while they do their work, you know? Either way is fine with me, as long as I helped in some sort of way. What else? Yeah, I'm trying not to leave too much dead silence, but having to kind of think as you talk is a little weird, you know? I'm used to bouncing off of people. I can express my own thoughts alone, but it's whatever. But, you know, as of right now, this will be episode 0. I'll make sure to mark it as episode 0. Still not sure what I'm going to call this. You know, I have some names in the workshop. I'm kind of lingering on the state of. That way I can kind of just put the state of and, you know, put whatever after it. But that doesn't really, I don't think that really makes sense for the concept I'm going with here, you know? Maybe something else, who knows? But just know, look out for it. The name might change a bit, which is not good if you're barely starting off, but hopefully we can hit a good one in the first few. I'll probably give it about 3 shots and then probably settle on a name then after that. I don't need it changing so much, and I really need to stop saying but we can work all this out. It's this is a form of public speaking. I mean, I know no one's here right now, but the people listening to this will hear my voice, hear what I'm talking about, and then hopefully be like, "Oh, he sounds interesting. Let's see what he can do." Hopefully. A big part of this podcast, though, is life. We're going to focus on life. The good things, the bad things, everything. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. Be as transparent as possible. Hopefully the people I bring on will be transparent too, but I can't control everyone. Well, scratch that. I can't control anyone. Everyone has their own free will and mind, and that's what I love. Everyone has their own way of thinking. Are there people who think alike? Yes, but they never think the same. And that's just amazing. All these people all think differently. They all, how do I say it? Well, the word's blinking on me right now, but I had it. There's going to be a lot of that too. I will forget words. I'm not the most articulate guy, but I try. I really do. Speaking was very important for me growing up. Actually, that works perfectly for what this is. One of my main influences growing up was, like, I guess thespian arts is what you would call it. You know, like plays. I've the way they talk in like Shakespearean tones and stuff like that. I've always enjoyed that. I've always enjoyed the regal sound of having a good vocabulary. And vocabulary is very important to me. I love words. I speak better than I write, to be honest. But I've had many influences in my life that made me realize that speaking is as important of a skill as knowing how to work and knowing how to interview. I have done so many interviews in my life that they have made it very easy for if I need to look for another job at any point. My job now currently it's okay. It could be better. I could be doing more. And this is part of that more, you know. But back to what I was saying. I've always enjoyed the regal aspects of having a good vocabulary. You know, if you know how to speak and speak well, people will take you seriously and people will show you more respect. At least that's what the idea that I've gotten when I watch these things, and that's something that I've lived off of. Speaking is an important tool to have. It's what sways decisions. It's what makes things good or bad. You know? And that's one of the most important things to me. It just sucks, though, that most of the people that speak that way are usually villains in both video games and movies. You know, the guy who's like, I shall show you the true divinity. That guy's cool, but usually that guy's a villain. It's just things like that, you know? And that's just a small taste of my influences. I don't want to get into everything now, but that's what this show is about. This show is going to be about me asking questions about who you are. Basically interviews. I guess pseudo interviews. Except it's not really that much knowledge, you know? And discussions might reach into subjects that people aren't comfortable with. And I am not going to make people talk about things they're not comfortable with. That's not who I am. I would hate to force anyone or make anyone feel that way. But some discussions with certain people might lead into these territories. And I need everyone to know that I do not lean either way on most subjects. I'm a very centric person. I believe in ideas that help people, no matter who they are or what they are, and helps humanity in general. We all have things that we care about. We all have things that we love. We all have things that have made us who we are. No one is born who they are. You grow into who you are. That's my personal opinion. And honestly, I think that it's going pretty well. I would hate to not how do I say this? I would hate to not give this a shot and then regret it the rest of the time. I would hate to not try, you know? Like they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Oh no. Oh no, he's barking. Oh, that's my dog. I have a dog, by the way. He'll make appearances every now and then through his barking. Very protective little dude. Love him to death. Anyway, but that's what this is. When people come on here, I don't want them to be scared to talk about what they like and who they are. I want them to be able to feel that they can express themselves freely and can be who they are. Maybe pull down the veil a little bit, you know, and maybe that'll help them in the long run. And maybe it'll help you knowing that there's always a place you can speak. Oh no, there he goes again. It's okay. He's okay. Probably somebody walking by the door. Who knows? But yeah. So this isn't just gonna be me rambling on by myself for hours, or at least I hope it isn't. I probably have about a good hour of rambling in me before I need somebody to be here to bounce off of. And if y'all enjoy me just talking, then that'd be cool to know. Just let me know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna add music to this one or not. I might not. I'm not too sure, because I feel like the silence kind of makes it real. The breaks in between speaking is what makes it real. It makes you connect to it, you know? There's going to be very funny days here. Well, I don't want to promise that. Comedy is subjective, and what I find funny, you might not find funny. But just know that we'll have some lighthearted times here, and then there'll probably be some pretty heavy times, you know? Just so be warned about that. This isn't what I would call something that's going to be stable. This is something that I don't want to be stable. This is something that I want to be different each time I do it. I want different results, different things, and of course similarities are going to be there, but as long as it's never truly the same, then I think I'll be happy. Many people in my life that I care about that are probably going to be the first few guests on here. Hopefully they'll want to be on, and hopefully we can talk about anything, how we usually talk. You know, I don't want this microphone to make people change. You know, I've seen it a lot of times. You hit the record button and people don't speak or act the way they normally do. You know, I'm even doing it now. I'm pretty tamed right now, but I just woke up not too long ago, so. But on a good day, you'll catch me with some high energy. Sorry. Really, I'm just here to connect people. I want more people to connect. And right now, we're very, very divided. Well, at least in my country, we are. And I don't like that. There's people who are ashamed to be Americans now, and that's not what I grew up with. Now, that being said, please don't peg me. Don't give me a label of this conservative guy. You can love America and be both. I love my country. I always have. My family has served in the military, and so I respect them. I have friends who are in the military, and I respect them. Just because we're different does not mean we can be friends. Does not mean we can't be friends. Sorry. You know, a lot of strong opinions floating around here. A lot of people making you choose a side. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to choose a side. Take in information from both parties. Make your own decision. A lot of my friends are a mixed bag of people. We all do not think the same. In fact, most of us have pretty opposite opinions of each other. But that does not keep us from being friends. And that's what I want to show. I want to show people that just because someone has different feelings or matters than you, that they are still people. Of course, there are certain exceptions to that rule. But that's kind of a personal thing between people, huh? You choose who are the exceptions to your rules, right? That's one of the things about the mind of a person. We choose what's good, and we choose what's bad. Most of the time, if it's something we don't like, we think it's bad. But to others, it might be good. And that should make sense. I shouldn't have to explain the specifics of that one. You know, I shouldn't really have to explain what I say at all. But in the times we live in, we kind of have to. But the main goal of this is people, the life, the mind, what things molded you into becoming who you are today. I'm not some guru. I'm not some famous person. I'm not any of that. I'm just a guy. And I'm here to interview people who are just people. You know? I mean, if this ever gets big enough to even get some kind of pseudo celebrity on here, then well, that's pretty good now, ain't it? But I think that might be it for me. I'm not sure how long I've been talking. Let me check here. Well, I've only been talking for about 22 minutes. Let's see if we can make it a solid 30. But what else? I don't really like to leave things on non-solid ground. But that's pretty much the rundown. My name is Ernesto. I'm pretty sure I've introduced myself, but I'm here. The name of this podcast right now is, don't know yet. Maybe we can call it something. Maybe the state of is probably what I'll stick with for now. So make sure you look at that. I'll probably make a Twitter for this, and I'll probably make an Instagram. Maybe. I'm not too social media savvy. I prefer to really keep to myself. But that's what this is. This is supposed to help me get out and reach out more to different types of people with different types of thought structures. I'm not trying to put anyone in a box, especially myself. You know, this is gonna be something. Whether that something is good or bad is yet to be confirmed. So make sure you tune in to find out. You know, listen to me on your car rides home, when you're bored, or hell, maybe even when all your favorite podcasts are done. I'm your last option. Hey, at least I'm an option. That's really what this is. Trying to keep a positive attitude, positive outlook on things. I'm writing now, but that has slowed down pretty. It's a real one of those dilemmas where I want to continue it, but I'm not sure where to go with it. I kind of want to say what it's about, but I don't know if somebody will steal it, which I don't think they will. Yeah, screw it, I'll just say it. So basically what I'm working on is a cyberpunk rendition of The Wizard of Oz called Scarlet Walker. It's about a girl who has to get back her prosthetics. And the movie is basically about the journey to the Wicked Witch of the West to get her her ruby shoes, technically the quote unquote ruby shoes of this are the MacGuffin, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure if I'm using that right, but that's what it is. Basically, it's just Wizard of Oz, but in a cyberpunk universe, and I'm trying to find a way to make these characters well. I have to reread the Wizard of Oz again. I was starting to when I first started writing this, but I got busy. I need to make sure I'm familiar with the plot before I can continue with this, really. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to make like a shot-for-shot remake of, I keep wanting to say Alice in Wonderland, of Wizard of Oz. But that's not, I don't think that's how you're supposed to do it. I mean, I can get some more criticisms, but right now that's what I'm working on. Find it always. It's nice to have something to work on in your downtime. Always have something to work on, whether you're too tired or not. Find something. If you're gonna play the game, make sure if you're gonna do that, man, do that raid. Do that raid. Make sure what you do is worth your time. Or if you're gonna grind, make sure you set your goal, you grind, you reach that point. Achieve something each day, whether that be physically, digitally, or mentally. Just shoot for one thing a day. Then once you get that one thing done, there's other things you can do. You just keep doing it, and then next thing you know, you've built your stepping stones to your success. I'm a 22-year-old person. I have not lived a long life, but I have lived through a lot of it. And I really, really hope that my age does not take away from my message and from my words. I want you to make sure that this is something that is for you. Maybe not you in particular, but it's for the person. It's for the people. We are all people. I'm a middle-class person like everyone else. I struggle. I pay my bills. I do the march every day like everyone else. You get up, go to work, go home. But this is a way to break that cycle. And you should find a way to break that cycle for yourself too. Hopefully I can help you with that. Hopefully we can help each other. And that's what I want. We don't work together anymore in the world. We don't. We fight, we pick teams, we make sides. And it's just tribalism. Well, there's the thing there, is that we're all part of the same tribe. And that's the human tribe. We're all people, man. We may all believe in different things and try different things, but it doesn't make us any less human than the next person. Of course, as I've said before, there are some exceptions. And when I say that, I don't mean like racially or anything. There's just bad people in the world. No matter what they look like, no matter what they follow, there's just bad people. And we can't forget that. And that's another thing too. When you have to explain yourself, of course you're not talking about the bad people. When you're talking about the good of humanity, you're talking about only the good. You're not talking about the bad. And other people say, well, either it's all good or it's all bad. And that's not how the world works. The world's not black and white. Even though that's kind of what they try to make it seem like, it's not. The world is a very colorful place with many different areas. There's gray zones, red zones, green zones. There's all kinds of things. Are some situations black and white? Yes. But mostly, they're not. Most things aren't just cut and dry like most people believe. They're not. There's feelings, there's repercussions, there's a lot of things that can happen when it comes to trying to figure out who you are and what you're trying to do. And sometimes we mess up. Sometimes we say things that we don't mean, or something came out a little bit more aggressive than it should have, but that's the point of being a person. You're supposed to fuck up. You're supposed to mess up so that you learn. That's just how it is. And people can change. Who you were yesterday is not who you are today. That's a very cheesy thing to hear, but it's true. Most of the corny things that you hear in TV and cartoons and movies, it's cliche and it's corny, but it's true. It doesn't need to be complicated, but it is. I contradict myself a lot when I talk. That's because not everything is always one way. You need to be able to see both sides before you can really form an opinion. And that's my opinion. We just need to start understanding each other more. Whether it's because I was born here and you were born in some random country in Europe, some random country in Africa, some random country in South America, does not mean we have to hate each other. Does not mean that we have to stay ignorant to each other's cultures and things. Does not mean that. You are a person. I am a person. I've said that a lot throughout this little discussion, self-discussion that I've been having, and I just really need that to get through people's head that I am not here to divide us any more than we already are. I'm here to hopefully bring more people together. And hopefully it works. Hope is the main thing of this podcast. Hope is what is going to get this stuff going. Hope is what's going to help the people that listen to it. And I really do hope that you enjoy this. You know, like I said, my name is Ernesto. I think that I'm done now. How much time we got? Yeah, boys, we made it past 30. That's what I wanted to do. But yeah, this wasn't meant to be a long drawn out thing anyway. This is just me explaining what this is, how I feel, and how we're going to proceed from now. That's pretty much it. This will be uploaded to my personal YouTube channel. For now, I'm gonna look into putting it on other platforms. Maybe I can get lucky. But yeah, I'll put this on my personal YouTube channel. I have to rename that because I think right now it's just my name. But once I do that, I'll make sure to spread the video around to anyone who is willing to listen to me talk for 35 minutes. But yeah, I think that's it. My name is Ernesto. I've said that like 4 times.